What is going on, guys? It's Panda here. Welcome back. Welcome back, Andrew. I am back with a vengeance. And this recording is completely off the cuff. I've really had no time at all today to do anything. That's a complete lie. I've been playing Minecraft all day, so I've really left this till the last minute, but hey, that's why it's good, you know? Everyone loves the last minute, whatever it may be, you know? Last minute homework, last minute beating the old, you know, the old anaconda, or in your case, something slightly smaller. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. That was completely I don't even know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's completely, you know, just raw footage from Panda. I have left this a very long time. I need to record because I said to you guys that the next episode will be up on Tuesday, and tomorrow is Tuesday. Or it is for me at least, so hey, I'm holding up my end of the bargain. Your end of the bargain is to watch it, so I expect that from you, and I expect a like and a favourite. Oh, maybe not. Just a bit of love, you know, back and forth between one another. That's what keeps this relationship good. Keeps it going. But yeah, let me tell you, just, you know, before we get into this, just let me tell you what I had to go through this weekend. Well, not what I had to go through, but what I did go through, because it was an absolutely crazy night. If anyone is, you know, into dubstep at all, you may or may not know who Dr. P is, or Circus Records at least. What I'm trying to say is I went and saw Dr. P, Funtcase, and Cookie Monster in Auckland, and so we got up there at about 11:30. It started at 11:30. We got in there at 12. Didn't get out until 5:30. Took us an hour to get back to the hotel, so we got back to our hotel at 6:30. Didn't get to sleep about 7. This is in the morning, by the way. And we only booked one night at the hotel, so we had to get out of the hotel by 10 AM. So we got about 2 hours sleep, had a shower, had breakfast, got the fuck out of the hotel. Then I had to, because I was the driver, I had to drive me and my mate back to Hamilton, so that's 2 hours driving. Then once I got him to Hamilton, I had to drive back to where I live, which is another hour's driving. So it was pretty painful for me. I was pretty tired at the end of it. But, you know, I was overtired, so that's alright, because, you know, once you're overtired, there's no stopping until you've actually closed your eyes. So that's fine. Anyway, let's get back into it, shall we? It's been quite a while since I've uploaded or recorded some Katawa Shoujo, so this will be fun. I just had 3 minutes of rambling. I apologise. She seems content to walk in silence, and I myself have no idea what I could possibly say. So the two of us arrive at her house, having said nothing since getting off the bus. That's right, we're going back to Mrs. Ibarazaki. Good to see you again. Looking beautiful as ever, I must say. Emmy's mother opens the door and doesn't seem surprised to see me standing next to her daughter. I expect that Emmy would have phoned ahead to let her mother know of the change in plans. Emmy, Hisao, you're just in time. Lunch is just about ready. Great! I was afraid we might be running late. It's been a while since I've done the voices. Oh man, it's really been quite a while. As fast as you were going this morning, I doubt there were much of a chance of that. I certainly hope she wasn't too much of a bother, Hisao. She tends to get a little paranoid about being on time when food's involved. I hadn't noticed. This earns me a swat on the arm from Emmy, who, despite the serious nature of our conversation on the bus and the almost brooding, quiet walk, has quickly become cheerful again. Just like Emmy. Probably to keep her mother from worrying about whatever it is Emmy plans to tell me later. Mrs. Ibarazaki ushers us in. Please take a seat at row C, seats 34 and 35, thank you. Have a wonderful night. And in short order we're around the table devouring lunch. I hadn't realised how hungry I was until I got here, but for once I seemed to be eating almost as much as Emmy. Goodness, it's a good thing I made so much. The two of you are acting like you haven't eaten in days. Well, we haven't. I mean, we've been starving ourselves, you know? Just for this delicious meal you were preparing us, Mrs. Ibarazaki. I skipped breakfast this morning. Me too. You know what she's gonna get from that? You know, both of you skipped breakfast, which means you were probably both, you know, doing something dirty in the old back shed, the PE shed at school. That's what she's gonna get at least. She's gonna think, oh, those two little kids getting up to no good again. Ha ha ha. Maybe she'd have a much different reaction. I don't know. Had to catch the bus, I assume. Assuming only makes an ass out of you and me. That, and I figured you'd make too much food, so it wouldn't matter if I skipped breakfast. I'm sorry. Well, it's good to know that I'm predictable. That's probably not a good thing to know. Emmy nods enthusiastically and conversation falls off again as we very nearly clear the table of anything edible. It is a testament to the sheer amount of food on offer that we don't finish everything. I forgot to mention that the table is actually made of chocolate, so you can eat it. I lean back in my chair with a sign and thank Mrs. Ibarazaki for the food. Now what surprises me is that she still takes the, what do you call it? She still takes the title of Mrs. even though... No, sorry, that's assuming. That's making an ass out of you and me. I won't continue that conversation. I'm glad you liked it, Hisao. Now, has Emmy told you where we're going? Yeah, sort of. Is it far from here? Not really, but we'll drive there to save time. It closes kind of early. I nod in assent and stand up, ready to go. Alright, well then, shall we? Shall we be off? Mrs. Ibarazaki nods and leaves the room to grab her keys. Emmy, I notice, has started to fidget nervously. Second thoughts? Emmy smiles tightly at me and shrugs. She's fallen silent again, which probably means that I'm right, and she is starting to regret bringing me along. Not that I blame her. She's done such a good job of shutting me out that I doubt it's easy to suddenly open up. Honestly, I'm worried that she's forcing it. You shouldn't be worried, you know, this is completely her choice. But she said while waiting for the bus that I'm not supposed to give her a chance to back out, and since I promised to go with her anyway, I suppose there's not much of a choice. I can't go back on my promise, and she can't go back on hers. I just hope that both of us are up to it. It's raining, no. We're off. Like eggs that have been sitting in the fridge for a couple of weeks. Bad joke. Emmy's mother blows me through the dining room, collects the two of us and heads out the door at a brisk pace. Now I know where her daughter gets it from. What, blowing you? The car pulls up at the cemetery gates, and I feel Emmy tense up beside me. I reach over and give her hand a comforting squeeze, which causes her to relax a little. Maybe she should rest her hand upon something of mine to give me a comforting squeeze. Emmy's mother doesn't follow us, explaining that she prefers to visit the grave alone. Emmy steps through the gates and looks back as if to make sure I'm still there. We step into the cemetery. I don't remember Emmy actually saying that her dad passed away. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable in cemeteries. Gravestones litter the ground, each one serving as a reminder that someone used to be alive and is no longer. I just don't go there because I think as soon as I walk in there, everything's just gonna fucking come alive and kill me. Damn zombies. How many died young? How many were as old as I am now? When do I wind up with a marker of my own? How much longer do I have left? The concept of not waking up, not seeing Emmy anymore, is not a happy one. It frightens me, and I very nearly turn around and exit right then and there. I don't want to go among dead people. I don't want to see their stones and think about who they were or what they could have been if they'd only had one more time. Then I look at the girl next to me, and my resolve returns. Emmy striding purposefully down the path, eyes clear, setting a pace that's very nearly a jog. The sooner we get there, I suspect she thinks the better. We're here. A gravestone. Wholly unremarkable in everything except for the name etched upon it. The grass has grown up around the base. Emmy's eyes are riveted to the stone. After a few moments she turns around looking surprisingly calm yet solemn. Pink's not actually my favourite colour, you know. What? I'm warming up to it. Ah, that still makes no sense. People tend to think that pink's my favourite colour. I think it's because I like strawberries, and even though those are red, they just assume that pink's the right colour for strawberries. That's so true! Nobody thinks red when you think strawberries, they think pink. And that it's my favourite colour, but it's not. I'm too polite to tell anyone otherwise, of course, and it's not the kind of thing worth getting worried about, but I'll even bet you thought pink was my favourite colour. Well, stereotypically, girly girls like pink as their favourite colour. Stereotypically. Blue, that's my favourite colour. My mum and dad are the only two who know that, and now you do too. Thanks for telling me, I think. You're welcome. There's a pause as she considers what to say next, drawing a quick breath. I can't carry a tune to save my life. I can hum, but actually singing a song is something I've never been able to do. I don't mind, because I'm not a fan of karaoke anyway, unlike Hanako. Well, that's one potential to date idea out the window. People will think that I'm a really popular and friendly person, but I only have a few close friends, probably because I keep everyone in the dark, but I think it's also because I hate the idea of losing a close friend. There aren't many people worth the risk. I'm terrible at saying goodbye. Oh, I hope you've all discovered what we're doing here. She's opening up to us. I sometimes think that I only run blah blah blah. I sometimes think that I only run because it's what I used to do with my father. You're not my first boyfriend. I dated a guy for a long while during my second year at Yamaku, but in the end we broke up because I didn't want to get closer to him. He couldn't live with that distance between us. Her rate of speaking increases slightly, as if she's running towards the finish line. I'm actually 1 year older than you. Everybody thinks I'm younger because I'm short, but I had to skip one school year because of my accident. They initially thought I was paralysed when they pulled me out of the wreckage. I'd lost my legs already, but they were afraid that I wouldn't even be able to use what was left of them. After surgery, it was clear that their initial assessment was mistaken. I couldn't feel my legs because of shock, short-term paralysis due to the other trauma I'd experienced. My recovery was one of the fastest they'd ever seen, or so they told me. I never found out if they were serious about that or if they told that to all the patients learning to walk again. I wouldn't be surprised. She pauses, gathering herself for one last effort. 8 years ago today, I lost my legs, and I lost my father as well. He died on the way to the hospital. I didn't even get to go to the gravesite until 2 months later, and couldn't attend his funeral. I'm so sorry. Don't be. That's what everyone always says, that they're sorry. I hate hearing that. Sorry. That was ironic. Like anyone could have done anything to change what happened. You know the best piece of advice I got? These things happen. I don't even remember who said it, but I guess they didn't have anything better to say. But it's true, you know. These things happen, and there's nothing you can do about it. They aren't necessarily planned, and they aren't always bad, and they aren't always good, but they are. So I made the decision that I would live without worrying about the future, and to be sure that I'd never have to say goodbye again, I decided I wouldn't let people get close to me anymore. After all, they could be taken away any time, and you know what? She laughs, a little bitterly. Her eyes start to well up with tears, and I step forward to embrace her, but she holds up a hand to stop me. Not finished. A deep breath, and she continues. It worked pretty well until I met you and saw that you were trying to adjust to stuff here, so I thought I'd help you, and you were so nice and I couldn't help it. The tears are flowing now, and she accepts the embrace this time. The rest of her sentence is mumbled into my chest. I tried not to fall for you, but I did, and then I tried to keep you at a distance, like with my first boyfriend, but I couldn't. But I've been so scared, because I don't want to lose you, and I might anyway. Hey, I'm still around, right? And maybe I won't be here forever, but don't you think it'll be fun while it lasts? YOLO. Sorry, inappropriate joke. Neither of us could survive the day. There could be a bush crash or something, a way to be happy. But so long as I know that I've been with you, I don't think it matters. A sudden thought strikes me, and I can't help laughing. My condition had me scared of dying so badly that I immediately seized on the opportunity Emmy presented to improve my odds of living longer. But without Emmy, would there have been any motivation to keep up my running? It hits me that Emmy is the reason I want to go running every day, so I can spend as much time with her as possible. Emmy looks up at me, confused. We'll go on living until we stop, and when we stop living, we'll be able to know that at least we've had a time together. And I wouldn't have it any other way, just like Burger King. Because I love you, Emmy, and right now, that's enough for me. Emmy smiles through her tears, and steps back from me. You know, it's funny. What is? I thought that the best way to live in the moment was to do it alone, but now I don't think I'd have it any other way either. I'm glad I met you, Hisao. Well, these things happen. Emmy and I stay by the grave for a while, as Emmy pays her respects to her father. When she's ready to go, we exit the graveyard side by side. Whew, that was very emotional. Emmy's mother drives us back to Yamaku. The trip back is very quiet. We wave goodbye as the car drives off, and I glance down at the girl leaning on my arm. How are you feeling? Emmy shrugs non-committally. I'll be fine. Come on, let's go. We pause outside the girls' dorm, and I turn to face Emmy, ready to say goodbye. Why don't you come up for a while? Okay, we ain't gonna get it on again, are we? Man, I'm not ready to do some more black screening. The walk up to her room is in silence. I'm not sure why I was supposed to be turned away at the door. What? I'm not sure why I supposed I'd be turned away at the door. I guess I just assumed she'd want to be alone. Her mum, the nurse, hell, everyone who knew the significance of today seemed to think it's best to leave Emmy alone. But she took me into the graveyard with her. She told me the story of what happened on the day she lost her legs. She wanted me around. The significance of this does not escape me. Emmy opens the door, drops her clothes on the ground, and spreads eagle on the bed. Okay, maybe that didn't happen. Emmy opens the door and steps into her room, not even bothering to invite me in, holding the door for me expectantly. Well, that's something that Hanako would do, although not hold the door. I step in, and the door swings shut behind me. I hear 7 locks close automatically, and Emmy says, "You're trapped now, motherfucker." Hey, can I ask you a favour? Sure, can't guarantee I'll do it, but... Emmy giggles and pulls me into a kiss that starts out soft but deepens into something almost desperate. Oh god. Oh god, I've got more black screening to do, don't I? Stay with me, please. Her voice is dropped to a whisper. The question is barely audible over the sound of my own breathing. There's something about the way that she asked that question. The hesitancy in it, the quiet voice that makes me think she doesn't mean tonight. No, she means exactly what she said. Stay with me. Not tonight or forever, because both of us know there's no such thing as forever. There's no time limit to her request, there's just the request. The favour. Can I do that? Can I stay with her? Of course. We embrace again, Emmy guiding me towards her bed, stepping backwards with care until she sits down on the edge. Oh God! I didn't want to do editing tonight. Emmy, please. Oh man. She's gotten my shirt off by this point, and I've similarly... Oh fuck, I can never say that word. Lifted hers over her head, bra and all. Her shorts come off just as quickly. As much as I welcome a nudie scene, I'd rather it not happen tonight. I'm tired, and I didn't want to edit. Fuck you. With practice ease, she removes her legs and pulls me onto the side of the bed with my hand coming around her smooth shoulder. I cast my gaze over her face, down her neck, following the line to the swell of her breast before I lower my head, planting kisses across her chest, listening to her breath hitch as her hand slides further and further down my chest. You gonna get a gobby tonight? As I work my way As I work my way back up to her neck, I can feel her hands working at my belt, now fumbling slightly with the buckle, now unbuttoning, now unzipping. Now she's got her mouth around until my pants fall to the floor. Her panties are noticeably darkened in the right place, showing that my earlier ministrations have produced some... Wait, what? Noticeably darkened in the right place, showing that my earlier ministrations have produced some result. Is she... Oh, I don't want to come to any conclusions, but... I step back quickly and shuck my boxes, and move back in as Emmy reaches over into a drawer on her nightstand, removing a small foil package. Oh, she's ready. She's got the dom. She tears it open with a quick jerk of her teeth. Oh yeah, she can jerk something out with her teeth. Just be careful. And reaches down to apply the protection, which, as always, causes me to gasp a little. She's doing it for you? Damn. Her expression suddenly changes as she takes the view of me in. Wait a second. Are you still in your socks? I pause and look down. Apparently I am. Yeah, does that matter? Take them off. It's weird if you still have them on. It is kind of weird. You know, you've still got your socks on too. Yes, but I don't have my legs on, so it doesn't count. Unable to deny her logic, fuck logic, and impatient to have the conversation over anyway, I quickly remove the offending items. I'm so eager to get back at Emmy that I practically jump on top of her, pushing her down playfully. Oh, here we go. Jesus. Emmy's giggling and squirming quickly ends, replaced by a happy sigh as I enter her. Breathing deeply as she savours the feeling, she spreads her arms to grab the sheets. Her breath is in my ear as I begin moving, whispering words of encouragement, nipping at my neck, now at my mouth. You know, you should be saying kinky little things like just whispering really subtly into her ear, like, taste the rainbow. Shit like that gets girls off like that. My hips hit the edge of the mattress, shaking the bed. A part of my brain briefly wonders if I should try to be quieter before succumbing to the waves of pleasure racing up my spine. Emmy's stomach tenses as she grows closer to the edge, and as our bodies both begin to glisten with sweat, time begins to become hazy. Oh, I just want to get this part over and done with. Is that lube she's got on the side there? You can't see it because I've got the whole screen blacked out, I would assume, but, you know. The sound of my own breathing mingles with Emmy's pants, and I ready myself for a final surge before surrendering to the rush wave of climax. Emi's body shudders and she cries out, her fingers digging into my back as I too lose control of myself. Music make you... No, okay. My back arches as I let myself go, feeling my body spasm as I orgasm. That's wonderful, Hisao. Thanks for that, buddy. I'd love to know every time that you orgasm. That's just... Oh. When I wake up I think, man, I wonder if Hisao orgasmed. I collapse next to Emi, who almost immediately curls against me, smiling. Mentally, I feel grateful that Emi keeps her nails short, otherwise she might have drawn blood. I sit up briefly to dispose of our now used condom and lay back down next to Emi, who's in turn taking care of cleaning herself off. For a while we lay in silence, savouring the feeling of being next to one another. Emi is the first to speak. She's not going to have clothes on, is she? I'm going to have to black this out again. Oh, yep, what do you know? Fuck's sake. Hey, Hisao. Thanks for coming with me today. Oh, no problem. Are you going to thank me for coming just then as well? I smile and plant a kiss on her head. Of course, my pleasure was just put inside you. Emi snuggles closer and I can feel her breathing begin to slacken as she begins to drift off to sleep. Just as she's about to fall asleep, I slam her against the wall and take another drilling right up in her. She wakes up enough to mutter a single sentence. I love you, Hisao. Then she's out like a light, leaving me feeling like I'm on top of the world. I draw the slumbering Emi as close as possible, pull the covers over us to keep the chill off, and fall asleep happy as I've ever been. Oh, thank God. Well, I was not expecting to have to edit this, but apparently I'm going to have to anyway. Fuck me. No, I'm not even going to start that. I'm going to finish it there. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Unfortunately, I was only able to record one episode tonight because I really don't have time. People want me, you know. I'm popular and stuff. Just kidding. But, you know, people do actually want to talk to me tonight. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next part. Bye!